If you're watching this video, that probably means that you either just bought or you just built your upgraded non-automated task tracker in Google Sheets. If you're trying to find the automated version, I'll link that down in the description, but this is the non-automated. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to set it up as well as how to use it. So the first thing you'll do if you bought it is click make a copy. If you built it, you already have access. And once you make a copy, you'll be able to name it whatever you want. So I'll go ahead and change this to non-automated walkthrough. And by default, it's blank. If you look at it here, you'll see some NA errors, you'll see a blank screen, you'll see visualizations are blank, everything is blank. So the first thing you want to do is go to your recurring tab. If you have any recurring tasks that you need to complete, go ahead and add those. So for example, I want to have a daily task, a semi-weekly task, another daily task, a monthly task, and a quarterly task. For example, I'll go ahead and put all of these as recurring. I'll put example 1 and then put details down there. These will always be not started. This will always be recurring. If you try to drag this down, it will change that. So you can either put 1 and select 2 of them so it knows the pattern, or you can select them individually. A tip for the deadline is you can make it dynamic. So you can put today, for example, and then it will update to whatever today's date is. So that way when you paste it over, it will automatically add the deadline. If you want to have a little bit of a buffer, you can put today plus 3, for example, and then it'll give you a 3-day buffer. So you can put whatever you want. If you want to have any links, you can. Only caveat is if you have a link to a spreadsheet, you can't have a smart chip. If you have a smart chip, then it will not work properly. Just have the URL instead. And then add the different task focuses right here. All right. So everything is calculated based off of these two, but you do need a last added date for the first time. So to make it easy, you can double click on it and select it from the calendar. Today is 5/17. So May 17th, 2025 is when I'm filming this. So it says 0 days and no. If I were to put yesterday, for example, it would say days since last is 1. And it will say yes because it's on the daily. And the daily threshold is to repeat every single day. So that's where this day thresholds come into play. If you want, you can rename these to whatever you want. So instead of semi-monthly, for example, you could put bi-monthly. Whatever you need to do, it will automatically update right here. You'll just need to change the coloration so that way it's colorful if you want to. So to do that, all you have to do is just click on the pencil, change it to whatever you want, hit done, and now you have that coloration. And if you want to change the different day thresholds, so for example, instead of quarterly being 92 days, let's say you want to have that as 90 days, that will let you do that. So be strategic when you add the different dates. For example, if I want semi-weekly to be added today, then I'll need to go back 3 days. So that will be May 14th, and now it's able to be added. If I want it to be added tomorrow instead, I can click on the 15th, and then it won't be added until tomorrow. All right, so you can see here we have a couple that say yes, and we have a couple that say no, and when they say no, that's because we have not met that threshold. Now under to add, it's going to extract anything from the recurring tab that has yes as to add. So all we need to do for this, whenever we are populating it, hit copy, go to task list, and we're going to paste values only. So we're going to go to paste special, values only. We can also hit command shift V. And that's because if we don't, the deadline will still have that formula in there where it will show whatever it is every day instead of what we want it to be as a fixed value. After you do that, go ahead and double click and put today's date. And now it will automatically calculate based off of whatever day you added it. So that way it's ready for next time. All right, so now we have a couple of items on the board, and you'll see that dashboard is already up here. Reason why this shows a NA is because there is nothing that is open. Everything has a deadline. But if something didn't have a deadline, you'll see that it says open instead of having that NA error. All right, next thing you're gonna do is add the different tasks that you want. So we'll say task 1. Anything that you did not know about at the beginning of the week is an unplanned task. Anything that you did know about at the beginning of the week is a planned task. If you need to follow up on something, you can hit follow up. And if you can't start something right now, you can put unable to start, and that will allow you to remind yourself later on to do it. We'll go ahead and select the priorities. So let's say top, we'll say low, we'll say high, and unable to start. You can either put a priority or you could just mimic what you have there for follow-up and unable to start. Double click to select the different deadlines. You'll put the different task focuses. If you need to change the task focus, you can click on this edit button and you can change them right there. But if you do this, make sure that you change them there, and then you also change them under the recurring task right here, so that way they all are matching. I'm going to go ahead and change these to whatever I select here. So the way to use this is whenever you start a task, mark it as pending, and then when you complete a task, mark it as done. Now over here under completed, you'll see a timestamp appear. This is actually a formula, and you'll see it says completed 1. You'll also notice that that task is no longer listed under your pending tasks, but it is included right here. So that way you can keep track of everything on the timestamp, and you can see exactly what's pending. It automatically sorts based off of your due date and then the priority. So that's why you see that even though technically there's a higher priority right here, We have a due date with a lower priority that has a due date in the nearer future. So that's why it's showing at the top of the list so you don't forget about those, even though they may not be as high priority. So I'm going to go ahead and just mark a few as done. And now at the end of every day, you'll simply click on this little caret, go to sort column, Z to A. Anything that says done, just go ahead and select that, hit copy. Under the done tab, you'll go to the end of the list and then paste values only right there as well, or you could use the hotkeys. And once you do that, it will automatically calculate the on time as well as the week start. And then it will automatically update all the different visualizations as well. Once those are added, you can delete those. And now you're ready for the next day. There's a completed counter to see exactly how many you've completed this week. Updating to the next week is super simple. All you have to do is select the next Monday and then change any unplanned tasks to planned. So that's how to use the non-automated task tracker. Biggest thing is to remember to go back in here and select today's date after you add those. That way the calculations work exactly how they should. If you forget one day, you can always adjust it by just selecting a day prior or whatever you need to do to get it back on track. I hope you liked this video. As always, let me know if you have any questions and like and comment for more.